Tell me if you can relate. There are stretches of time when I feel stretched out thin, worn down beyond anything else. The sort of worn down that doesn't have to do with having reached or going beyond a breaking point, but of the sort where I just feel fragmented, caught in a vortex, and all that I can do is to double down on nothingness. It's not an escape, it's not being incapacious, but it's the sort of narrowing down that is sometimes inevitable. But it's also of the sort that doesn't drag on and on, but it's an escape from which to return. It's a hole to crawl back out of. It's a return to some sort of core. Not like a reset, but it's more like jumping deeper into the vortex to get caught up, to gain some sort of momentum, and ultimately to use it as a slingshot to come out stronger than ever. And I can't be alone in this. I ain't willing to accept it. We are more alike, you and me. There are thresholds though, and there are moats, bulwarks, castles, burning tar, and all that stuff. This life here ain't easy. This life ain't for the faint of heart. The vortex is an innate fact and to return, but it's also of the sort that is to be kept at bay. And that's the one big thought that's always in the back of my mind. Sometimes I just have to go down with it. But what if I can avoid it? Well, sometimes it can just feel like it isn't an option. But what if I told you it is? What if I told you that, yes, the vortex is an innate fact of life that you sometimes just can't escape, but also that to keep it at bay, to keep it under control, is a way to be more in control. And you know as well as I what comes after the vortex. A clean slate. It's a fresh start and a way to continue living. But I always have to remind myself for the millionth and a millionth time. To an extent, it is just situations, it's life, it's people, it's circumstances that drag us down the vortex. Now what if there was a way to just cut us out? So that's more or less what I started doing years ago. And it ain't to say that my vortex is gone, but I have it controlled. What drags me down are sometimes the things that are beyond my control. But what I can control and what doesn't get me to stay on track, I cut it out. And I don't just cut it out, I'm relentless, I'm thorough, I do it well. I cut it out of my life and I don't look back. It took me a good while to figure out a strategy. And after a while, you will start figuring out for yourself. And looking around at the best way of going about the clean slate. I always feel that my heft is at its peak when the slate is clean, when I'm the king who sits at the foot of his fiefdom. And it's a sort of feeling of being powerful beyond anything else. It's the feeling that you only truly get when you are rested and when you take a minute to figure out your next move. This is where the art truly comes in. And it's the sort of obvious truth that I wish that I had accepted it at a much younger age. Great things come when you stop trying too hard. When you try too hard, things never really work. People can always tell, even if they can't really put their finger on it. They will feel it when something is off. You can always tell when you hear a song or watch a movie where they just try too hard. You can just tell something is off. And what's more, it ain't a good song, it ain't a good movie. But it in no way means that you should swing to the other end. It in no way means that you should stop trying. But you should try to figure out when it's time to take a break. It's both to dodge the vortex, but also to figure out your next move. It will come. Just don't try too hard. And that's sort of linked to another small thing, of which I also wish that I had truly picked up on it many years ago. Keep putting yourself out there. Sometimes you just have to feed the opportunities, and you never really know which way they come from. And this brings us to a beautiful phrase that you should carry around with you for the next few days. Putting yourself out there nurtures serendipity. And if you ain't sure what it means, next time you're down that vortex, wearing noise-cancelling headphones to block out the world, while going down some rabbit hole, dig into this one.